Welcome back, ESL, as we're getting set to do the round of 12 here in the Next Gen NASCAR Series. Out on the track is Tyler Commander. He was last week's winner. We are at Talladega where anything can happen, but only 8 drivers advance to the next round. Tyler Commander was last season's champion. He did not make the playoffs, but he is looking for some momentum for next season. Can he go back to back? And for right now, it's Amelia LaFrance with the fastest time in the first lap, 53.322. That is the time to beat. As he rounds the last turn. Can LaFrance take the pole? And Amelia LaFrance does, as no one changes on the leaderboard. Everyone stays the same as Amelia LaFrance on the pole. Tazzy Blackwell second, Peyton Hill third, Doug Britton fourth, Stefan Ford's fifth, Killmonger Vasquez sixth, Dougie Zoom seventh, Rocco Stallone eighth, Odion Muldoon ninth, and Aaron Kozak rounds out the top 10. There's a few playoff drivers in that top 10. This is a very difficult track to win at. We'll see how everything shakes out. But congrats to LaFrance on winning the pole. I'll be back in a few minutes. back and getting ready to get this race underway here at Talladega. Here are your playoff drivers for the round of 12. Stefan Forge leads the way, 24 points. Aaron Kozak in second, 23 points. Lotus Lee with 16 points. Doug Britton with 12 in fourth. V-Side fifth, 8 points. Muldoon sixth, 8 points. Lon Fangio 7 points in seventh. Andrew Green eighth with 6 points. Bill Cherry with 4 points in ninth. Ani in 10th with 3 points. William Thompson in 11th with 2 points. And Axel Raven in 12th with 1 point. As we know at Talladega, it's not always all about speed. Pit strategy does play a role in this race. Can you make the right calls at the right time? Put yourself in at least up front towards the end. That's all that you want to happen. So we getting ready to get the round of 12 underway here at Talladega. The green flag drops in the round of 12. Tazzy quickly trying to block here. Doug Britton is in the outside. We are ready 3 wide to start this race. Tazzy needs a little help in that middle lane. Doug Britton quickly goes to the low side, takes the lead. But now Killmonger kozak takes it away. Rocco Stallone is in that middle lane. That's Aaron Kozak's giving him a push. Now it's Peyton Hill up front. As we're going to shuffle these first few laps until everyone kind of gets settled in. Rocco Stallone is in that middle lane. He needs some help there. As the top 3 have pulled away slightly from that second pack. Now Eweezy's going to try to catch up to those top 3. Right behind Eweezy is Tyler Grims, the 52. Aaron Kozak currently in 10th. As we have 3 playoff drivers in the top 10. But those top 3 have pulled away. As they are single file. Peyton Hill, Vasquez, and Britton. Those are your top 3. Odeon currently in 12th. On the outside of him is Lotus Lee. Stefan Forge is there. A lot of playoff drivers there. There's 27 laps in the first stage. Killmonger with the fastest lap in the race. But those top three are doing the right thing. You stay single file. Well, you get a lot more speed that way. There's that second pack as they are double filing, trying to battle for position. There's a few different packs here. There's Ani in 16th. William Thompson in 21st. This is his first time in the playoffs. Can he advance to the round of 8? He's got a lot of work ahead of him. He doesn't have a lot of playoff points to start this race. There's Juan Fangio in 28th. Peyton Hill still leads the way with Killmonger, Doug Britton. Weezy's just a little bit off the pace. He's trying to catch them 3. But he's going to be in no man's land if he cannot catch up to them. He might still be holding on to that tail end of the draft here. So we go back to that second pack. Amelia France is leading the way. Right behind him is Aaron Kozak. Your biggest mover is Axel Raven, up 14 positions. Currently in 8th. As he battles with another playoff driver, Lotus Lee. But they're both in the top 10. All you can hope for in a super speedway is to survive this race, have a good finish, and hopefully that is enough for you to advance. You don't want to make a bad decision here and get caught towards the back of the field, because it's going to be a struggle to try to climb your way up. There's William Thompson on the outside. He is currently 23rd, trying to battle with Reside. Let's ride on board the number 10, William Thompson, for one lap. As we go back to your leader, Peyton Hill still in control. No one's trying to make a move. They just stay single file. And they continue to pull away from that second pack. About 5-second lead. But there's a few playoff drivers that are about 11th, 12th. Actually, Axel Raven, he's 12th. He needs to get in that top 10 to get some stage points. So some of these drivers, no, they're not going to lead this race in this first stage. So they at least got to try to get in the top 10. Let's do a rundown of your playoff drivers. As we start with Stefan Forge. He is currently running 19th. Aaron Kozak currently in the top 5, running 5th. Lotus Lee running in 7th. Doug Britton in 3rd. And that's where he wants to be. He is currently 4th in the points. Justin Reside in 22nd. Odin Muldoon, Odion in 18th. Juan Fangio in 29th. Andrew Green in 20th. Bill Cherry in 11th. He's one spot back from getting at least a stage point. Ani currently in 9th. William Thompson, 23rd. And Axel Raven currently in 13th. Those are your playoff drivers and where they currently stand. Some of them have a lot of work ahead of them if they want to have a chance to advance, as we have 12 laps to go. And Eweezy down to 9th. He was all by himself. He had lost the draft from the top 3. So now he's trying to catch up to this second group as they're single file. If they could stay single file, they might catch that first group before the stage ends. And there's a lot of stage points at stake here. And some playoff points. You win a stage, you get a playoff point. Aaron Kozak leads the way in this second group, and we know he has speed. He's had speed all season long. That second group is 5.2 seconds back. Can they cut into that lead? Into that gap. They have to do it in 10 laps. But They're pretty well organized. They just need to stay single file. So we take a look at your leaders. They're comfortable 1, 2, and 3. Hill, Vasquez, and Britton. Will Britton try to step out here? But he has no help. But if he did, he would love to win the stage and get a playoff point. That would be huge for the 84. But I think he would be content being third and getting these stage points. And that second group only has cut 1/10 of a second off that time. And now they lost that 1/10 of a second. It goes back and forth. So they're not gaining much ground at all. And there is Zach Holdorf, and I think that's Brogan. They're off the pace, so will the leaders catch them before the end of the stage? That could shake things up. If they do, we'll have to keep an eye on this. You're looking at about 32 laps on fuel. 32 to 37. Kozak still leads the way in that second group. Up 6 positions from the start of the race. But they are not gaining any ground on the top 3. But they want to stay single file. They don't want that third group to catch up. Because you have Randy Pierce and Bill Cherry. That's, if you want to call that a group, a pair. It's just them two. Then it's the third group with Tyler Grims and Axel Raven leading the way. Axel Raven is the playoff driver. We will see in about 5 laps who's going to decide to go on to pit road. Will some drivers decide to stay out, take a gamble, trying to switch up the pit strategies for this race? Fuel will play a big role here. Right now, Peyton Hill has been leading most of this first stage, and he is burning a ton of fuel. As you see the slower cars up ahead, you can start seeing them in the picture. Will the top three catch them? We'll have 3 laps to go next time by. The second group has not gained much time, maybe 0.2 of a second. Still 5 seconds back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 playoff drivers in the top 10. Those drivers will get some stage points. Two more laps to go to the end of stage 1. It doesn't look like they're going to catch those slower cars that are up ahead, but you can see them in the picture. But I don't think they're going to catch them in time. As they round the final turn. One lap to go. And they're right there. They might catch them. We'll see. They got 1 lap. You saw Pierce go a little, Hill go a little high. Looks like he's going to make the pass on the outside, and that's what he does. Killmonger's hasn't followed him yet. As they go around the last 2 turns. As Peyton Hill wins stage 1. So Doug Britton is going to get some stage points. Eric Kozak, Lotus Lee. Ani. Bill Cherry was outside looking in. As far as getting a stage point. Now the big question comes, who's going to head onto pit road? Who's going to try to mix things up and try to take a risk? Will we have any takers here? They could maybe squeeze another 10 laps or so on fuel, but would they rather come in now or try to switch up their strategy. And it looks like Peyton Hill's coming onto pit road. Will everyone follow him? And it looks like they are gonna follow him onto pit road. Except Ani. Ani decides to stay out. He's gonna take a risk. As well as Odion, Stefan Forge, Andrew Green. A lot of playoff drivers decided to stay out. So this is definitely gonna shake things up. As Peyton Hill comes out of pit road first. Killmonger. See, Doug Britton lost a few spots there, as well as looks like Kozak maybe. So right now your leader is Ace Blade, followed by Ani Odion, Stefan Forge, and Andrew Green. Those drivers decided not to go on to pit road. We will see if this works out in their favor. But it is the playoffs. Teams are going to take a gamble here. And hopefully it pays off. Because only 8 get to advance and 4 get eliminated. They will definitely not make it to the end of stage 2. So they're going to have a green flag pit stop unless we get a caution. That would definitely switch things up. As we get the 1 to go. How aggressive will some of these drivers get here? You could gain a ton of spots if you have a great restart. As they head around the final turn. As the pace car comes off the track and we get set to start stage number 2. Green flag waves and stage 2 is underway. We'll see what kind of push Ace Blade gets from Odeon. You got Ani in the outside getting a push from Stefan Forge. These drivers have not pitted, these top 3. Forge on the outside. He's getting a push by Peyton Hill and E. Weezy. Ani's in the inside, currently your leader. As we still have 2 rows. We saw in that first stage, you don't want to lose that first pack. It's going to be extremely difficult to catch back up. You want to try to hold on to that first pack if you can. When will those drivers that have not pit come onto pit road? They don't want to get caught in that outside line because they're not going to be able to get onto pit road. And they're going to run out of fuel. And you don't want to go onto pit road by yourself. Still no takers on pit road. Looks like that top 12 have pulled away. Actually, top 13, Axel Ravens in that second group. He leads the way there. Getting a push from Sebastian and Rocco Stallone. But they have to get organized. If not, they're going to lose a ton of ground. Ani and Forge continue to battle for the lead. But these drivers still have to go onto pit road and to get some fuel. We'll see how far they can stretch the fuel. Now it's Stefan Forge in the lead. Max lap for fuel is about 37 laps, but because of the caution, they might be able to squeeze out a few more. But they are definitely running pretty close to fumes soon. Still no takers. We have 5 drivers that need to pit. End of stage 2 is lap 59. Weezy with the fastest lap so far. Peyton Hill on the outside, getting a push by Weezy. Most of the drivers that have to pit are in that inside line. And that's where you want to be able to get onto pit road. As soon as I say that, Ace Blade goes to the outside. You don't want to be there. Still no takers. And now it's Randy Pierce in the lead. Bill Cherry on the outside. Ace Blade is there as well. Ace Blade up front. Bill Cherry second. And that second group is way back there. They've lost a ton of time. Rocco Stallone leads that group. They've been able to stretch this fuel as long as they can. We'll see how many more laps they can get out of the fuel they have left. If you run out of fuel here, you're a playoff driver. That's disastrous. That's it for you. You will not be able to advance unless some other cars wreck in the race. You don't want to end your playoff run running out of fuel. Stefan Forge leads the way. Still about 17 more laps to the end of stage 2. A lot of stage points on the line as well. Do they come in this time? They do not. They must have been able to save a lot of fuel at the end of stage 1 with those caution laps. And now mainly the top 5 are pretty much, everyone's pretty much single file now. Will we get anyone this time by? And there goes Stefan Forge. Onto pit road, Ace Blade, Ani. Odeon still on the track. Andrew Green is still on the track. But these three decided to come in together. Very smart move. You don't want to stay out there by yourself. Now Odeon and Andrew Green have to come in together. They cannot stay out there. You know, they cannot come in by themselves. These drivers need to have a good pit stop here as the leaders are starting to round turn 3. Stefan Forge peels off. Ace Blade and Ani. And Odeon did not come onto pit road. And Andrew Green still out on the track. And they have to be on fumes at this point. So these drivers tried to stretch it as long as they could. As they round turn 4, does Odeon come in this time by? It looks like he is. And he does. All by himself. Andrew Green stays out on the track. He was able to go about 46 laps, Odeon, on fuel. But he is all by himself. He needs to have a good stop here. And hopefully he does not get a lap before the end of stage 2. As now he comes out of pit road. And here comes Andrew Green. That was the last car that had not pitted yet. But he is also by himself. As long as these drivers do not get lapped, they are going to be good to go. Andrew Green needs to have a good stop here. As he peels out of his pit stall and exits pit road. And lucky for Odeon, there's 3 cars in front of him. If he could catch up to them, he should be safe and won't get lapped. But if he cannot, he's going to be in some big trouble. As the leaders, as they're about to go into turn 3, the leaders are already on the backstretch. So it's something to keep an eye out. There's still 11 laps. And like someone pointed out on the chat, Andrew Green was able to stretch his fuel for so long that he could probably make it to the end. But he just needs to stay on the lead lap. We still have 10 laps to go. And we are past the halfway point of this race. It's a top three, top four single file. Your top 10 is Peyton Hill, Bill Cherry, Lotus Lee, E. Weezy, Killmonger, Randy Pierce 6, Doug Britton 7th, Aaron Kozak 8th, Rocco Stallone 9th, and David Leathers rounds out your top 10. But things are starting to heat up and get very interesting here. We'll know how interesting things will get after stage 2. But can these drivers here stay on the lead lap? If they can stay on the lead lap, they're going to be good to go. And these 5 are pretty organized, so I think they're going to be okay. I really don't think they're going to get lapped because they're organized, staying single file. And there's some pretty fast cars that are together right here. It's been a very clean race so far. The drivers in that second pack are trying to battle, but they should just get single file and try to catch that first group there. If not, they're going to lose some more ground here. There's 2 playoff drivers in that second group, Doug Britton and Aaron Kozak. Peyton Hill leads the way. He's led most of this race. Can he get his first win of the season? His best finish so far this season was 7th. So to get a win would be huge for Hill. As we go back to those 5 that pitted in this stage, they are doing a great job staying single file. They just need to do this for a few more laps and they're going to be good to go. And they will stay on the lead lap. They did what they had to do. They tried to stretch the fuel as long as they could. Made no mistakes on pit road. Were able to find a few drivers that they could draft off each other with. As stage 2 is coming to a close. Three more laps to go. As I look at the schedule for the round of 8, we head to Charlotte next, mile and a half. And then we head to Phoenix. Which 8 drivers will advance to Charlotte? Out of these top 10s, Lotus Lee, Eric Kozak, Doug Britton, they are going to get stage points. These drivers here did what they had to do not to get lapped. We'll see what they decide at the end of this stage. Do they go back on pit road, maybe make a few more adjustments? Do they stay out? One more lap. In this top 4, Peyton Hill, Bill Cherry, Lotus Lee, E. Weezy. As they go around that last turn. Peyton Hill wins stage 2. Now is decision time for some of these drivers. Actually, some of these crew chiefs. What will they decide here? As this decision might mean you advance or you don't advance for your playoff driver. And do those drivers that pitted during that second stage, do they stay out? Do they come in? Everyone pitted about lap 28. So they gotta be getting pretty low on fuel. Peyton Hill decides to go in for fuel and probably tires. And it looks like everyone's gonna follow suit here with 30 laps to go. And Forge is also gonna come in. Ani's gonna come in. All these drivers decided to come in. And Bill Cherry beats out Peyton Hill at the line coming out of pit road. So Bill Cherry comes out as your leader. And those drivers that stayed out second stage decided to come in once again. And now they're at the tail end of the field. And unless they make something happen there, it might be curtains for them until next season. We'll see how it plays out. But it is very hard to work your way up through the field at this track. You got to have a lot of things go your way. And you want to stay towards the front of the pack. You just want to position yourself towards the front at the end of this race. That gives you the best chance to win. Your top 10 coming out of the pits was Bill Cherry, Peyton Hill second, Lotus Lee third, David Leathers fourth, Randy Pierce fifth, E. Weezy sixth, Sebastian seventh, Kyle eighth, Eric Kozak ninth, and Jaden Swift 10th. So there's a lot of playoff drivers that need to make some moves here. Stefan Forge, he's currently 32nd. He is the points leader. Kozak is ninth. The Lotus Lee currently running third. He's doing very well if he can stay up there. And Doug Britton in 15th. Justin Reeside in 14th. Odeon 34th. Juan Fangio 29th. Andrew Green 37th. Bill Cherry, he is your leader. Ani 33rd. Thompson 17th. Axel Raven in 12th. But Stefan Forge, Ani Odeon, and Andrew Green, man, they're going to be trying to fight to make it to the next round here. Which one of those four drivers could gain a few positions on this restart and in this last stage. And here we go. Pace car comes off the track to start stage 3. The green flag waves, and we are underway once again. Bill Cherry, he's currently your leader. Lotus Lee bounces to the outside. He's going to try to take this lead away. Lotus Lee getting a push from Peyton Hill. Easy trying to make 3 lanes. Now Lotus Lee, he is the leader. If a playoff driver wins the race, he automatically advances, no matter what points he has. Bill Cherry in second. These drivers are trying to settle in here. It's pretty chaotic the first few laps. There is Eric Kozak in the outside. Behind him is Berto Demora. As we go to the back of the pack and look at some of these other playoff drivers. Andrew Green still at the tail end of the field. Odeon is back there as well. Stefan Forge. Ani Juan Fangio. Lotus Lee in the lead. Bill Cherry second. Peyton Hill third. And Randy Pierce fourth. Aaron Kozak is in fifth. That's the top 10. Our single file. These drivers just want to finish in the top 10. Of course, you want to win, but you want some stage points. Especially if you don't have a lot of playoff points. I always stress it during the season how important playoff points are. Because if you do not do well in the playoffs, and you don't have that cushion of points, it's not going to go good for you in any round, really. Lotus Lee still in the lead. Then we have a second group here. It's Eweezy, Killmonger, Justin Reeside. Doug Britton. There's Ani in 25th, trying to gain as many positions as he can. Some of these drivers would love to see a caution. We have been caution-free all race. That top 8 is content in staying single file. And they have pulled away from that second group. Almost 6 seconds already. That second group needs to get organized. And Sebastian is leading away. And they are single file now, so we'll see if they can make something happen. In that second group, you have Sebastian, E. Weezy, Justin Reside, Kyle Storm, Killmonger Vasquez, and Doug Britton. So they just need to stay single file and try to put together the best lap times they can. If this group right here can attach themselves to that second group, they might have a shot to run down that first group. And this group is Axel Raven, William Thompson, and Rocco Stallone. As we go back to your leader, Lotus Lee. In second, it's Bill Cherry and Peyton Hill. Let's do a rundown of your playoff drivers one more time. Stefan Forge leads in the points. He is currently 30th. Aaron Kozak second in points. He is currently in 5th, having such a great run. That's all he needed today. Lotus Lee third in the points. He is your leader. Doug Britton fourth in points. He is currently in 14th. That should be enough to advance. Justin Reside fifth in points. Currently in 11th. Odeon sixth in points. Currently in 34th. He's gained a few positions. He needs to keep trying to gain as many as he can in hopes that he could squeeze in to the next round. So it is not over for the 79. Juan Fangio 7th in points, currently 26. Bill Cherry 9th in points, currently in 2nd. That's where he needs to be. Ali currently 10th in points, and he is running in 22nd. William Thompson 11th in points, currently running in 16th. And Axel Raven 12th in points, currently running in 15th. Will that be enough for Axel Raven to advance? We will find out. And Lotus Fleet still leads this race. $16 more laps to go here at Talladega. I think I missed out of those playoff drivers Andrew Green. He's 8th in points, currently running in 31st. As the laps continue to tick down. Will any of these top 8 make a move? Or will they just stay single file till the end? A caution would definitely change things a whole lot. Bill Cherry still second, Peyton Hill third, Randy Pierce fourth, Eric Kozak fifth. Kozak is your regular season champion. It looked like Bill Cherry was going to step out there. And last week, the 99, Eric Kozak said, if you let me advance to the next round, I'm going to be a problem the rest of the way. And here he is running in 5th. He meant what he said. As we take a look at this second pack. Sebastian leads that second group, but they are back 11 seconds. They need to stay single file. Killmonger's out there on the outside. Not sure what he's doing, but he's not helping the cause by staying on the outside like that. Need to stay single file. I know it's hard and you get impatient as you see these laps continue to dwindle down. But in order to catch that first group, you gotta stay single file here. As we go a little further back. Odion is in 30th. He's moved up a few spots. Needs to try to move up a few more. Juan Fangio 28th. Stefan Forge in 28th. 26. And there's your top 8. And look at here. Zach Holdorf and Nolan Pierce. They are way off the pace, and your leaders are about to round turn 4 as these two cross the start finish. These two might cause a problem here at the end of this race. Nine more laps to go. If they run into those slower cars, these drivers have to make the right move. And those slower cars are side by side. So if they don't go single file, this is going to be extremely interesting ending to this race. As that second group is 14 seconds off the pace. They just continue to lose time, and they've lost a few cars. That second group is only 4 cars now. Axel Raven leads that third group, currently running 13th. There are your leaders as they round turn 4. They're gonna catch these lapped cars, that is for sure. As we have 7 laps to go. You can see those cars in the picture already. Who's gonna make the right move here? This race is still up for grabs. Any of these 8 can win this race. Will Peyton Hill play spoiler? Will Randy Pierce play spoiler? Will one of these playoffs drivers lock themselves into the next round? So many scenarios, and we are getting close to the 24 and the number 1. What move will Lotus Lee make here? He needs to make the right move. You see him try to bounce to the outside. And he goes to the outside. He's going to make it 3 wide. Will everyone follow? Bill Cherry's trying to follow. But Bill Cherry's having a tough time. Lotus Lee don't want to get too far ahead here, because the cars behind him could slingshot past him. And Bill Cherry's going to get hung to dry in the outside. No one followed Bill Cherry. Now he's stuck in the outside. Aaron Aaron Kozak's in the inside, currently running fourth. Some of these drivers are gonna use these lap cars to their advantage. But right now, Lotus Lee is still your leader. Pierce on the outside, trying to fight hard. He needs some help, though, in order to take the lead back. Will Lotus Lee stay in the bottom? Will he bounce to the outside? Now Pierce has no help on the outside. He might lose a few positions if nobody goes to help him. Bill Cherry has dropped down to 7th after being 2nd. Three more laps to go. Will Peyton Hill attempt to go to the outside here? He would love to get his first win of the season. Got to worry about Kozak as well. And Tanner Parton, he's in the mix. Pierce, Cherry, they have lost the draft from that first group, but Pierce is trying to fight hard to hold on. As they enter turn 3. If you go to the outside, you're going to need some help, because if not, you will lose a few spots. As the white flag waves, a last lap here at Dega. Will Lotus Lee hold on? Will Peyton Hill try to bounce to the outside? If he does, he needs someone to follow, because if not, it's not going to end well. As they round the final 2 turns. No one making any moves. And Lotus Lee wins at Talladega and locks himself into the round of 8. In second, Peyton Hill. Third, Aaron Kozak. Fourth, Tanner Parton. Fifth, Randy Pierce. Sixth, David Leather. Seventh, Bill Cherry. Eighth, Berto Demora. Good run by Berto, top 10. Sebastian ninth. E. Weezy rounds out your top 10. Lotus Lee did what he had to do. Now he is locked in regardless of points to the round of 8. And he's going to get some playoff points, stage points. That carries over as well. we'll see how these points shake out and who is going to advance to the next round. As only three drivers got stage points in this last stage. But up next will be the round of 8 at Charlotte. And after that is the round of 4. And this is just a straight race. Whoever finishes better than the other 3 wins the championship. So it's going to be good. Next week is all or nothing to get into that final round. But it's been a good one here at Talladega. You never know what you're going to get at a super speedway. Sometimes they don't go out your way. Sometimes it does. It's just how racing is sometimes. But thank you for supporting the league and the stream. I will see you guys next time.